Let me tell you something. My friend's wealth doesn't begin in your bank account. It begins in your philosophy. A man once asked me, "How can I make $1 million?" I said, "You don't make $1 million. You become a person worthy of $1 million. Because money doesn't change you, it reveals you. It magnifies what's already there. If you're careless with $100, you'll be reckless with $1 million. But if you learn discipline, gratitude, and vision when you have little, wealth will come looking for you." See, the problem isn't that most people can't earn more. It's that they haven't grown more. The world doesn't pay you for your need. It pays you for your value. And your value is determined not by what you do, but by who you become while doing it. The secret to fortune is not found in chasing money. It's found in building the person who naturally attracts it. You see, life is like a mirror. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. If you want to change what you're getting, you must first change who's showing up. The poor ask, "What do I have to do to get rich?" The wise ask, "Who must I become to deserve wealth?" That's the real question, not what job, not what business, not what strategy, but what kind of person. I've watched people chase opportunities like moths chasing light, running from one thing to another, wondering why nothing sticks. But wealth isn't something you catch, it's something you grow into. You don't chase butterflies, you cultivate a garden so rich that the butterflies come to you. And that garden, my friends, is your mindset, your philosophy, your attitude, your daily disciplines. So tonight, I want to challenge you to stop asking for more money and start asking for more wisdom. Stop chasing comfort and start chasing character. Because when you grow, everything around you grows with you. Your relationships, your income, your influence, your peace. The soil of your success is you. And until you become rich on the inside, you'll never stay rich on the outside. You know, one of the greatest lessons life ever taught me is this: wealth is not something you chase, it's something you attract. It's a magnet, and you are the metal. If you become the right kind of person, it finds you. If you're not, it passes you by. Most people spend their lives running after money, and it's no wonder they end up tired, frustrated, and broke. Chasing money is like chasing butterflies. The harder you run, the quicker they escape. But if you tend to your garden, if you grow flowers of skill, character, and discipline, those butterflies will come and sit quietly on your shoulder. I learned that the secret isn't to pursue success, but to prepare for it. Preparation creates magnetism. Think about it. If a farmer runs around chasing crops, it looks foolish. But if he tills the soil, plants the seeds, waters the ground, and protects it from weeds, the harvest will come. Nature doesn't reward desperation, it rewards discipline. The same law works in the marketplace. Money responds to order, not chaos, to value, not vanity. If you bring structure, reliability, and service to what you do, prosperity has no choice but to respond. I remember a time in my life when I was chasing every opportunity, trying to grab quick wins. I wanted money so badly that I was blind to the person I was becoming in the process. Impatient, scattered, inconsistent. Then one day, my mentor said something that changed everything. Don't chase money. Attract it by becoming the kind of person money looks for. I didn't understand it at first. But then I realized money looks for competence, honesty, discipline, and service. When I stopped chasing and started cultivating those qualities, everything changed. You see, wealth is shy. It hides from the desperate and reveals itself to the prepared. The great philosopher Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit, and that's the essence of attracting wealth. You don't stumble into riches. You build habits that make you worthy of them. If your habits are chaotic, your finances will reflect it. If your habits are consistent, your results will follow that same pattern. Start by being reliable. When you say you'll do something, do it. Reliability is rare in the marketplace, and people pay dearly for it. Serve others with excellence, not because of the paycheck, but because service is the seed of prosperity. If you make life better for others, They will open the doors to opportunity for you. And remember, money is not loyal to people who need it most. It's loyal to people who handle it best. So stop chasing, start becoming. Don't hunt butterflies. Grow a garden so fragrant with discipline, purpose, and value that they can't resist landing there. Wealth doesn't come to the frantic, it comes to the focused. And when you become the person worthy of abundance, abundance won't need to be pursued. It will find its way home to you. Everyone wants to have more money, more time, more opportunity, more success. But very few ever stop to ask, who do I need to become to deserve it? That's where the real secret lies. The key to having more is becoming more. It's not about changing your job, your boss, or your country. It's about changing you. Because the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve. It gives you a reflection of who you've become. I remember when I was a young man, I used to think, if I could just get a better opportunity, then I'd do better. My mentor looked me in the eye one day and said, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more wisdom. That hit me like a hammer. I realized I was spending all my energy trying to change circumstances that were outside of my control while completely ignoring the one thing I could change, myself. The moment I started working harder on me than I did on my job, everything began to shift. See, the outside world is nothing but a mirror reflecting your inner world. If you want your income to grow, your discipline must grow first. If you want better relationships, your patience and communication must grow. If you want more freedom, your habits must reflect responsibility. Growth is not something you wait for, it's something you work for. Most people wait for the world to give them more before they start doing more. But the truth is, you have to do more first. The soil doesn't say, give me a harvest, and then I'll produce seeds. No, it says, plant first, then I'll deliver. So let's make it simple. If you want to change your results, start by changing the small things. Write down 3 personal qualities you want to improve this year. Maybe it's discipline, patience, or consistency. Work on those daily because small disciplines practiced consistently lead to massive changes over time. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You take one steady step at a time. And stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of progress. Compete with your yesterday. Try to be just a little more patient, a little more knowledgeable, a little more effective than you were the day before. That's the only competition that matters. Because the moment you start outgrowing your past self, you're on your way to creating a new future. So here's the truth: for things to get better, you have to get better. For things to grow, you must grow. For things to change, you must change. Life is designed that way. It's fair. It doesn't reward demanders, it rewards developers. And once you commit to becoming more, in mindset, in skill, in spirit, the world will have no choice but to hand you more. Because it always mirrors the person you've become. It's a fascinating thing. 2 people can earn the same amount of money, yet one becomes wealthy and the other stays broke. The difference isn't in the paycheck, it's in the philosophy. Your philosophy about money determines your financial reality. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a thinking problem about money. And until that changes, no amount of income can rescue them. When I was a young man working at Sears, I used to think the secret to wealth was simply to earn more. I thought, if I could just get a raise, I'd be fine. But you know what happened? Every time my income went up, so did my expenses. The car got sheenier, the clothes fancier, and the wallet emptier. One day my mentor said to me, it's not the amount that counts, it's the plan. And that changed everything, because money without a plan is like water without a container. It leaks everywhere. The poor tend to think in terms of spending. The moment money comes in, their first thought is, what can I buy? The rich think in terms of multiplying. Their first thought is, how can I grow it? That's the difference between financial frustration and financial freedom. If you treat money as something to use, it disappears. If you treat it as something to grow, it multiplies. The question isn't, how much do you make? But what do you do with what you make? See, wealth isn't about luck, it's about laws. Just like gravity, there are financial laws, and if you ignore them, you pay the price. One of those laws is this: always pay yourself first. Before you pay the bills, before you buy the clothes, before you take the vacation, set aside something for you. Because if you can't learn to keep a portion of what you earn when you have a little, you won't when you have a lot. The habit of keeping money is far more valuable than the amount itself. Another law is education, financial education. Money is a language, and most people never learn to speak it. They know how to earn it and how to spend it, but not how to make it work. Learn about assets, things that make you money, and liabilities, things that take your money. Learn about compounding, the magic of growth over time. Learn about leverage, how to multiply your results without multiplying your effort. Because ignorance, my friend, is the most expensive debt you can carry. The wealthy aren't smarter, they're simply more intentional. They study money like a builder studies blueprints. They don't let emotion guide their financial life. They let principle guide it. And remember, this money is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Use it wisely, and it will bring you freedom. Misuse it, and it will own you. So build a philosophy that honors it, a plan that multiplies it, and a mindset that controls it. Because when you master money, it can finally serve your purpose, not your pressure. When I was a young man, I used to think wealth was about opportunity. That if the right door opened, I'd walk straight into success. But I learned something that changed my life. It's not opportunity that creates success, it's discipline. You can hand the same opportunity to 10 people, and only one will turn it into wealth, the one who has mastered himself. See, discipline is the invisible foundation under every great life. Without it, even the best intentions crumble. Most people look at successful individuals and see the cars, the houses, the lifestyle. What they don't see are the quiet mornings, the consistent routines, the sacrifices made in silence. Discipline doesn't shout, it whispers. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the bridge that connects your dreams to your results. You can have all the ambition in the world, but without discipline, it's just potential, and potential unused is a tragedy. I remember my mentor once telling me, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. And he was right. The small weight of doing what needs to be done each day is nothing compared to the heavy burden of wishing you had. Freedom isn't the absence of responsibility. It's the reward for mastering it. People say, I want freedom. But freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from doing what's necessary, consistently. Discipline is what keeps the wealthy growing when everyone else stops. It's what keeps them reading when others are scrolling, saving when others are spending, investing when others are consuming. It's not that they love sacrifice. It's that they love the results sacrifice brings. Discipline turns chaos into structure, and structure attracts opportunity. Life respects order, and wealth is no different. So start small. Set your non-negotiables, the few things you do every day no matter how you feel. Maybe it's reading 20 pages, saving a percentage of your income, exercising for your health, or spending 10 quiet minutes reflecting on your goals. These habits look small, but they stack up over time. Like drops of water, they carve the stone of destiny. Track them too, because what gets measured improves. Discipline grows through accountability. And perhaps the most important thing, keep your word to yourself. If you say you'll do something, do it. Each promise kept strengthens your self-respect, and each one broken weakens it. When you can trust yourself to follow through, you become unstoppable. Because once you're disciplined enough to do what's right, whether you feel like it or not, there's very little life can withhold from you. So, remember, this comfort is easy, but it costs you everything. Discipline is hard, but it gives you everything. Pay the price now, in effort, in consistency, in focus, so you never have to pay it later in regret. Wealth may begin with a plan, but it's sustained by discipline. And when discipline becomes a way of life, freedom stops being a dream and starts being your daily reality. When I first began studying success, I discovered something powerful. Life doesn't respond to need, it responds to mindset. The way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act shapes the results you get. It's not the economy, the government, or luck that determines your future. It's your philosophy. As the old proverb says, as you think, so you become. The mind is the soil of your destiny. You can't plant seeds of fear and expect a harvest of prosperity. When I was struggling early in my career, I used to say, if only I had more money. My mentor said, no, if only you were more valuable. That hit me hard. I realized that my outer world was just a mirror of my inner world. My results reflected my mindset. I was planting the wrong seeds of worry, scarcity, and doubt, and then wondering why abundance never showed up. The truth is, wealth starts as a thought before it ever becomes a number in your bank account. Momentum in life begins with mental direction. If you keep focusing on lack, you'll always attract more of it. If you constantly talk about your problems, you'll keep growing them. But when you start thinking in terms of possibilities, discipline, and growth, everything begins to move differently. The moment your mind changes, your energy changes. The moment your energy changes, your actions follow. And when your actions align with belief, results appear. That's how momentum begins. Now, the danger is that most people don't question their beliefs. They've accepted limitations they never chose. They say, I'm not good with money, or people like me never get ahead. But those are just mental chains. You can't build an abundant life with a poverty mindset. So, challenge every limiting belief you've ever had about success. Ask yourself, who told me that? Then decide if it still deserves a place in your mind. The moment you replace, I can't, with, how can I? You open a new path. Visualization helps too. Every morning, take a few moments to picture your ideal self, not the version struggling to get by, but the one who's disciplined, confident, and capable. See that person in your mind's eye until it becomes familiar. Because once you see yourself differently, you'll start behaving differently. Your identity drives your destiny. And finally, be careful who you spend time with. Association is powerful. If you surround yourself with small thinkers, you'll find your dreams shrinking to fit their comfort zones. But if you spend time around those who are growing, who believe in possibilities, you'll start catching their fire. Energy is contagious. Make sure you're catching the right kind. The beautiful thing about momentum is that once it begins, it multiplies. One positive thought leads to one positive action, and before you know it, you're living at a higher level. So, guard your mind. It's the most valuable real estate you own. Fill it with faith, gratitude, and vision, and soon enough, your life will start to reflect the richness you've cultivated inside. I remember the first time I heard the idea that changed my entire financial future. My mentor said, profits are better than wages. I didn't understand it at first. I thought earning a paycheck was the goal. Show up, do the work, get paid. But over time, I realized something vital. A paycheck feeds you today, but profits feed you for a lifetime. Wages make you a living, profits make you a fortune. There's a world of difference between earning and building. Most people spend their entire lives trading hours for dollars, and when the hours stop, so does the income. That's fine for survival, but it's not how wealth is created. Wealth comes from building something that continues to work, even when you're not there, a business, an investment, or a system that grows beyond your direct effort. You see, the wealthy don't just ask, how can I earn more? They ask, how can I create something that keeps earning? Early in my life, I was working hard, long hours, little rest, but I was standing still. I realized that if I stopped, everything I built stopped with me. That's not freedom, that's dependency. So I started thinking different, and I asked myself, what could I build that outlast my labor? That's when I began developing a small business, something I could grow piece by piece. It wasn't about getting rich quick. It was about creating something that could compound over time. And when I started seeing even a small profit, I didn't spend it. I reinvested it into better tools, better training, and better people. Slowly, that business began to feed my future instead of just my present. There's a certain pride that comes with building something of your own. You move from being a worker to being a creator. You go from living on what you earn to living on what you've built. That shift from earning to building is the key to lasting wealth. But it requires patience and discipline. Most people want to consume their profits too soon. They buy the car, the watch, the vacation. But if you consume the seed, you lose the harvest. The wise reinvest their profits, multiplying their capacity before indulging their comfort. Another truth I discovered is that building doesn't always mean starting a business. You can build investments. You can build influence. You can even build people. Each of those has a return. If you develop a skill and teach it to others, you're building something bigger than yourself. If you invest in assets, real estate, stocks, intellectual property, you're building wealth that grows while you sleep. The goal is to let your money, your systems, and your influence work for you. So, my advice is simple: learn to build. Don't just earn. Build a foundation that will stand even when you're not standing on it. Build systems that multiply your time, investments that multiply your money, and relationships that multiply your opportunities. Because true wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about what continues to grow after you stop working. That's when you know you've built something real. I've often said that success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And the more I've lived, the more I've seen how true that is. You can attract money with cleverness, but only character will keep it. You can get attention through talent, but only integrity will sustain it. The marketplace might reward your skill for a while, but it will ultimately honor your character for life. In my early days, I met people who were brilliant at making deals, fast talkers, sharp minds, persuasive personalities. They knew how to get the sale, win the contract, and pocket the profit. But a few years later, many of them were gone. Their success had vanished because the foundation beneath it was weak. They could build the house, but they didn't build the ground it stood on. And I learned something vital. Character compounds faster than interest. When you keep your promises, even the small ones, something powerful happens inside you. You begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, others begin to trust you too. That trust becomes currency, a form of invisible wealth. People do business with those they believe in. They invest in those they can count on. A handshake from a person of integrity is worth more than a contract with someone who bends with convenience. I remember working with a company that was struggling to stay afloat. We were all doing our best, but it was clear we wouldn't make it through without cutting corners. I had a choice. I could compromise on my word to save the situation, or I could stand firm and risk losing the deal. I chose the latter. It wasn't easy, and yes, we lost that deal. But something interesting happened months later. That same client came back. They said, "We trusted you because you didn't take the easy route." That one act of integrity turned into years of opportunity. You see, money follows trust the way crops follow rain. You can't fake integrity. It's proven in moments of difficulty. And once it's proven, it compounds. Every act of honesty, every fulfilled promise, every extra ounce of effort builds your reputation. Over time, that reputation starts to work for you. It brings referrals, partnerships, opportunities you didn't have to chase. That's the beauty of character. It earns even when you're not around. So, if you want to build wealth that lasts, start by building the kind of person who can handle it. Keep your word when it's costly. Deliver more value than you're paid for. Let excellence be your signature and honesty your brand. Because wealth without character is fragile. One mistake and it crumbles. But wealth built on integrity is permanent. It compounds through trust, loyalty, and respect. And that, my friends, is the richest kind of wealth there is. The wealth of a good name, a clear conscience, and a legacy that money alone can never buy. I've often said that the greatest reward for becoming a millionaire is not the money. It's the person you must become to earn it. Because here's what I've discovered: money will buy you a better car, but it won't buy you better judgment. It will give you a nicer house, but it won't give you peace of mind. It can open doors, but it can't open your soul. True wealth, real lasting wealth, is not about what you have. It's about who you have become in the process of earning it. You see, the journey to wealth is a refining fire. It exposes your weaknesses, tests your patience, and demands that you grow beyond your excuses. When I was a young man, I thought wealth was only about income. I wanted more money, more things, more comfort. But when I finally started to grow into success, I realized that wealth wasn't showing me what I could get. It was showing me what I needed to become. I had to become disciplined. I had to become consistent. I had to become someone worthy of responsibility. And in doing so, I discovered that the real treasure wasn't in the bank. It was in the transformation. A man once asked me, if I had $1 million, would that make me rich? I said, no. It would only make you a millionaire temporarily, unless you've become the kind of person who can keep it, multiply it, and use it wisely. Because money will always move to those who know how to handle it. Without wisdom, it slips through your fingers like sand. But when you grow, when you expand your thinking, your discipline, your gratitude, that's when you attract wealth and keep it. And you must understand this: wealth without growth creates emptiness. I've met people who had more money than they could spend, but they were miserable. They built empires, but not character. They acquired riches, but lost meaning. They forgot that success without contribution is the ultimate poverty. That's why I say, if your bank account grows and you don't, you've missed the whole point. One of the greatest joys in life is to use what you've earned to lift others. Mentor someone. Teach them what you've learned. Because when you teach, you grow again. You see your own wisdom from a higher level. That's how life works. You grow, then you give, and through giving, you grow even more. So, pursue growth in every area, in your mind through learning, in your body through discipline, and in your spirit through gratitude. Use your wealth not as a badge, but as a bridge, a way to connect, to serve, to elevate. Because the truest measure of wealth isn't how much you have, it's how much of yourself you've refined. Money can make you rich for a while, but growth makes you wealthy for life. I learned early in my life that time is far more valuable than money. You can lose money and make it back, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. You can't buy another minute, no matter how rich you become. Time is the great equalizer. Every morning, life gives you 24 hours, a fresh deposit. The question is not how much you get, but how wisely you spend it. Wealthy people don't necessarily have more time than anyone else. They've simply learned to use it differently. They treat time like investors, not consumers. When I was in my early 20s, I spent most of my time being busy, but not productive. I mistook movement for progress. I'd fill my days with activity phone calls, errands, meetings, but at the end of the week, I hadn't moved any closer to my goals. One day, my mentor looked me straight in the eye and said, "You're majoring in minor things." That one sentence changed everything. He taught me that the value of your time depends on what you do with it. 10 minutes used wisely can change your life. 10 hours wasted can keep you broke another year. Time management is not really about managing the clock. It's about managing yourself. You must become the kind of person who honors time, who respects it like the precious asset it is. If you waste money, you can recover. But if you waste years, you don't get a refund. Every decision you make either compounds your results or delays them. The wealthy understand this law deeply. They schedule what matters, they eliminate what doesn't, and they measure time in value, not in hours. You must learn to say no. That's one of the hardest disciplines, but it's also one of the most freeing. Every yes to something meaningless is a no to something that matters. Protect your calendar as fiercely as you protect your wallet. Don't give it to every distraction, every invitation, or every moment of comfort. Remember, urgency is the enemy of importance. The poor chase what screams, the rich chase what compounds. Each week, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, did I spend my time, or did I invest it? Did your hours build your dream, or did they disappear into entertainment and distraction? Did your days move you closer to freedom, or did they keep you in the same cycle? Be honest, because time doesn't lie. When you begin to treat time as sacred, everything else changes. You become more focused, more disciplined, and more intentional. You stop living by default and start living by design. That's when your life begins to multiply, not just in wealth, but in wisdom, peace, and fulfillment. Because the secret to building a rich life is not to chase more time, but to use the time you already have with purpose, clarity, and conviction.